Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Feliz Navidad, and go get yourself a piece of pie and all that. I hope everybody gets everything that they want for Christmas, and hope everybody's thankful for what they have and the blessings that they have. You know, every day of my life is a blessing. And I may not have everything that I want, but I know I've got more than some. And I live my life that way every single day. And it's funny when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, as I sit here and think about how many people are mad about our Cowboys. And I think about how they talk about our Cowboys, you know? And no matter what happens, they move the bar. Going into the season, a lot of people had us as third or fourth best team in our division and saying, yeah, you can't beat the Eagles. They talked about the quarterback and said, yeah, he regressed, man. He's going to be RG3. Your coaching staff's not good enough. Your defense, without Zeke Elliott, you got no team. And after the first 8 weeks, it seemed like they were right, you know? The Skip Baylesses, the Skip, Shannon Sharps of the world and things, boy, the Stephen A. Smiths, they were having a ball about the Cowboys and telling us how bad that team was and how much it sucked. And their chances of making the playoffs were no chance. In fact, I remember some of you guys sending me that WWE clip of no chance in hell. And I said, listen, man, we're only halfway through a season. Teams rise and fall, you know. Some that'll start out like gangbusters will come back down to earth and all of a sudden fall off the face of the earth like Carolina did. Some teams that started off slow, like the Texans, all of a sudden come back around and they play great football. It's the nature of the beast in football. But every time the Cowboys succeed at something, everybody moves the bar that much further. You know? Remember when they used to say, Dak can't throw for 200 yards? You know, and then he started hitting for 200 yards. Well, Dak can't throw for 300 yards. Okay, all right. Dak can't throw for more touchdowns. Can't throw the ball down the field. I'm not saying that it's Aaron Rodgers and things, but we've been proving what they say is wrong. And here it is, with a week left to go the season, we've won the division. And now the talk is, well, they can't win a playoff game. They're going to be one and done. Because they're moving the bar. And unless they win the Super Bowl, eventually, because they're playing the numbers game, they're going to end up being right. Because, Stephen A. Smith is going to say, they're an accident waiting to happen. I told you so, unless they win the Super Bowl. But you could say that about 31 teams. Because only one team is going to win that Super Bowl. They said it was impossible for us to go to Philadelphia and win, and we did. Then they said you can't beat Matty Ice. He's, great quarterback. Dak can't hold his jockstrap on the road in Atlanta, and we did that. They said, when you lose Tyron Smith and Sean Lee, you can't win, and we did. They said there's no chance that you'll beat the New Orleans Saints. And we did. Hell, even Skip Bayless said, we're going to lose to Tampa Bay. Well, as I sit here, me personally, I thrive on what people tell me I can't do. People told me I can't make it in Facebook. You're too old. You don't have the skills. You don't have the looks. You're not a hot chick. And I'm not the brightest bulb in the, out there. But I'm not even so smart enough to even know what the saying is. But I think about things in my life where people said you can't succeed. Right here, this house, this red brick house that I've got to get back working on come the first of the year. Over here across the street from me is that Walmart that they built. And this house, there was actually 3 houses that were along here. Built in 1820. The city used to own it. And it was scheduled to be destroyed. And when I found out about it, it was literally weeks away from being destroyed. This house, which is full of history, which was the schoolhouse, and I believe the 3rd oldest masonry school in this country. This house right here, during the closing days of the Civil War, General Sheridan, along with Custer, Custer's last stand, came from the north and ended up chasing the Confederates in the Battle of Waynesboro in the closing days of the Civil War. A battle that didn't last that long. I think it was only 15, 20 minutes. But it came through here. Over there, that cemetery has Revolutionary War soldiers and Civil War soldiers buried in there. This house, which became the Masonic Lodge, the bricks that are on here were actually handmade behind here. And when this house was built, there's only 21 states in the Union. And they said, you can't save it. It's done. It's already been scheduled for demo. They've disconnected the utilities. It's been condemned. It's going to the ground. You can't buy it. They said it's impossible. But yet, here it is. Still here. Rebuilt the sashes on the windows. Taking care of the foundation that was coming apart. I've got a lot of work to do. This front door that was boarded up, I built a new door for it. Yeah, well, we stabilized it. We kept it from falling to the ground, and we stripped out all the stuff to the old stuff. The next part is putting it back to the way it originally was. One of the 4 fireplaces, you can see one of the window sashes that I rebuilt to match the original ones that open. But you can see here the handmade brick, the antique heart pine floors, the original staircase, the rafters that were cut right here 200 years ago. So when people tell me you can't do something, won't happen, it's too late, it's impossible, for me, I say challenge accepted. Bring it on. And that's where I think my Dallas Cowboys are right now. Nobody believes in them. They keep changing the measuring stick. They keep putting obstacles in front of them. But what you have to have is, you have to have a vision of what you want. And you have to be determined that you will succeed. You have to believe it. You have to plan it. And then you got to put in the work. And if you do these things, nothing is impossible. I love this house. I just need more time in the day so I can get it rebuilt. Believe in yourself, believe in your drive, and believe that you can succeed. I don't know if the lighting's good enough in here, but look at that detail of that brick. So Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlocks, all you guys that don't believe in the Cowboys, they're here to prove you wrong. I'm Mark Holmes, and thanks for being part of this history lesson. Merry Christmas.